It's not just a house, it's a feeling. Out here, where the earth stretches wide and unbroken, where the horizon dissolves into a wash of soft light, time itself seems to loosen its grip. The noise of the world fades to a distant hum, and in its place, stillness. And there, rising gently from the land, not to tower, not to demand attention, but simply to belong, stands a barndominium, not built to impress the neighbors or parade the latest trends, but to exhale, to breathe, to draw you in without a word, and invite you to ask yourself the question we forget to ask far too often. What if home didn't feel like walls and a roof? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button because it's a simple way to show your love for these incredible designs. What if it felt like a retreat, a sanctuary that pulls the weight from your shoulders the moment you cross its threshold? A place not crammed with more, but shaped with less, where every beam and every shadow whispers, "You're safe here. You can slow down." This barndominium doesn't scream for your attention. It doesn't need to. The calmness it carries moves differently, seeping into you before you even realize it. The way the soft winds trace along its weathered wood, the way the muted tones mirror the earth beneath it, it feels less like a home someone built and more like something that was always meant to be here. And as you stand at its threshold, the question lingers. Not loud, not urgent, just a quiet spark flickering in the back of your mind. What if a home could be more than where you live? What if it could be where you finally exhale? This isn't the loud, overstuffed boho you've seen splashed across magazine covers and Pinterest boards. This is its quieter sister, Boho Minimalism. A softer, gentler approach where everything feels intentional, like the home itself is breathing between its walls. Here, sunlight is the first decorator. It pours through wide windows, flooding open rooms with a golden warmth that shifts and dances as the day moves on. There are no heavy drapes to block it, no clutter to dim it, just soft linen curtains swaying lightly with the breeze, filtering light like a whisper. The palette is hushed but never cold. Sandstone, ivory, pale oak, and the soft gray of morning mist form the canvas. Every texture adds a quiet hum of life, rough-hewn wood under your fingertips, a woven rug grounding the floor, the cool, organic touch of unglazed clay. And then, a single handmade vase, placed where the light hits just right, becomes a small, living sculpture. Every object feels as though it belongs, not because it was bought to match, but because it was chosen. Chosen to add to the calm, not to overwhelm it. There's no crowding of surfaces or layers of loud, competing colors. Nothing here tries too hard to impress, and yet, somehow, you can't help but stare. We share new content regularly to help you create spaces you love, so don't forget to subscribe. The home feels alive in its stillness. The air itself seems to linger a little longer, carrying the faint scent of cedar and linen. Even the quiet sounds, the creak of wood beneath your steps, the rustle of leaves outside, feel like part of the design. This isn't a space built for display or perfection. It's built to breathe, to hold space for the people inside it, to let you feel something beyond the visual. And as you walk through these rooms, the thought lingers. Maybe true beauty isn't about filling space at all. Maybe it's about leaving enough of it for you to finally notice the little things. The way light bends, the way a curtain dances, the way stillness can make a place feel alive. Each corner of this barndominium tells a quiet story, as if the walls themselves know when to speak and when to simply listen. Nothing here is rushed, nothing forced. It's as though the space was designed not to showcase possessions, but to give meaning to the moments lived inside it. The kitchen, free of excess, feels less like a place to perform and more like a sanctuary. There are no gleaming, overbearing fixtures demanding attention. Only smooth wooden counters, open shelves with a handful of earth-toned ceramics, and a simple wooden table where the light pools softly in the morning. It feels like a place where meals aren't hurried, but savored. The bedroom is even quieter. Just a bed draped in natural linens, centered beneath a beam of morning light that drifts in through a wide, unadorned window. Beneath it, a woven rug soft enough to hush every footstep, making the world outside seem far away. There are no distractions here, just a space for rest, for stillness, for breathing deeply when the day begins and ends. Even the walls feel alive, finished in soft, natural tones that seem to absorb the changing light. They don't need artwork to feel interesting. The way the sun moves across them is its own ever-shifting display. This openness, this ease, is born from its barn-inspired bones. The soaring ceilings, the exposed beams, the wide, uncluttered floor plan. They create a canvas where every natural texture becomes part of the story. The raw wood, the cool stone, the soft fibers, they are the decoration, needing little else to feel complete. And yet, there are subtle touches that remind you this is still bohemian at heart. A pair of woven baskets in the corner, each holding wild greenery that seems to spill effortlessly over the edge. A piece of earthy pottery, handmade and imperfect, resting on a low shelf. These details don't demand attention. They simply breathe life into the calm, balancing the simplicity with just enough warmth. Every space here feels deliberate, but never staged. It's not about stripping things away just for the sake of minimalism. It's about letting the home, and the life inside it, breathe. If you found this video inspiring, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support means to me, and it helps keep the design ideas coming your way. But here's the secret. Boho Minimalism was never truly about design, not really. It isn't about the perfect combination of textures or the curated palette of soft, earthy tones. It's about what it removes, the clutter, the noise, the need to fill every corner just to feel complete. This home feels alive not because of what fills it, but because of the space it leaves for you. It offers room, not just to move, but to breathe, to think, to simply be. It doesn't push for perfection or demand you live up to its style. It quietly asks something softer. What happens when life feels lighter? In a world that urges us to collect more, do more, and be more, stepping into this space feels almost rebellious. The air feels cleaner here, not just because of the fresh wood and open windows, but because your mind feels quieter the moment you enter. There is nothing here screaming for your attention, no chaos pulling your focus in every direction. Instead, there is space, stillness, the kind of calm that makes you notice the soft rhythm of your own breath. If you love this type of look, hit that subscribe button to help us create more videos, and let us know in the comments what you'd love to see in future videos. And as the day unfolds inside these walls, something changes in you. Time feels slower. Your thoughts grow clearer. You begin to realize that this isn't simply a style, it's a choice, a way of living where beauty doesn't need to shout, and where comfort comes not from abundance but from balance. Maybe that's why this place feels more like a retreat than a residence, because it doesn't just hold your belongings, it holds you. It gives you permission to shed the constant weight of more, and instead settle into less, until you realize that less was all you ever needed. And maybe, just maybe, that's the real secret. Boho Minimalism doesn't transform the house. It transforms you. It leaves you wondering, if a home can make you feel this calm, this unburdened, what else in your life could feel the same if you simply let go? And maybe That's the point. Maybe this isn't a house to be filled with endless things, but a space designed to fill you, to slow you down, to remind you that beauty doesn't have to compete, doesn't have to shout, doesn't have to be dressed in excess to feel alive. Sometimes it only needs room to breathe.